my Generation 1 Scorbunny design. I tried to mimic the sharp, jagged fur Sugimori would use to communicate the fire element of his design. I kept the overall white color of the original while giving him a more realistic head shape with buck teeth, while of course making it appear like a journal sketch of a wild animal, not posing for the camera. I implemented the exact same design philosophy for Sobble and Grookey to achieve the same effect.
You, sir, have outdone yourself.
Know your place, worm. Prepare yourself. Damn Saiyan.
I would say that the first video that I started watching with Totally Not Mark is every difference in the Dragon Ball Super manga. And this one was being recommended to me quite viciously, and obviously I could not help clicking on it because of the thumbnail, and the content of the video was actually quite startling to me because I had been reading the manga of Dragon Ball Super from maybe the ending of Goku Black, where Goku and Vegeta are fighting Zamasu, but this video actually pushed me to start collecting the Dragon Ball Super manga so I could start at the very beginning. And ever since then, I've been a fan of a lot of his different series, such as Reviewed in 10 Words or Less, Dragon Ball Super English versus Japanese, his Power Leveling series, and of course, I have a special place in my heart for bootleg Dragon Ball movies. But I'll be honest, it wasn't until recently that Totally Not Mark became one of those Dragon Ball channels, if not one of those YouTube channels, that I had to watch every upload, and that started with Son Goku, the misunderstood character. And this video was quite controversial to the Dragon Ball community because ultimately it stated, if you want to sum it all up, that Goku really didn't have much growth in the series. He didn't have a character arc, and I agree with this video. I wholeheartedly agree with his dissection of Goku. And after that came the Vegeta video, the Broly, Frieza, Gohan, Jiren, Majin Buu, and the most surprising, a Pokemon video. Now this series, I think, is important to the Dragon Ball community. It's important if you're a Dragon Ball fan because of how much it dissects and adds so much layers to the characters from Dragon Ball, who are basically the joke in the anime world for not having any character, any story, really anything going on besides giant blasts and fighting scenes. And I love character and series in-depth videos. I'm a huge fan of Super Eye Patch Wolf, Mother's Basement, and of course Nuxtaku, so these videos were right up my alley. But today, I'm not here to talk about these videos, and I'm not here to praise them for you. I'm simply going to leave a link to Totally Not Mark's channel in the description below. If you have not checked them out, make sure you do so and watch some of these videos and let me know what you think. I'm here to talk about something about Totally Not Mark that a lot of people don't seem to give enough shine on, and that is his art. You guys know I cover a lot of different subjects on this channel, but one of the main, if not the main thing I cover on here is artwork. I love art, and something really caught my eye about Totally Not Mark. Now, the Goku thumbnail that you see right here, I thought this was snipped right out of the manga. Same thing with the Vegeta one, so I didn't think much of it. I just thought it was a pretty sweet thumbnail. Then we got to the Broly, and I have never seen this Broly art anywhere else. So he had mentioned that he actually has drawn every single thumbnail for this video series, and I was in complete shock. Then he dropped Drawing Ultra Instinct in 10 hours, and I was shook. This is by far one of the most inspirational videos that I have seen on YouTube, regardless whether it be Dragon Ball related or not. When I was younger, I used to draw all the time, and I actually was quite good, but around the time of high school, I basically gave up on it, and I haven't been drawing ever since, so probably a little bit over 10 years. And recently, I've actually been trying to get back into art and perfecting my skills. This video really helped me look into what I could be doing better and how long it takes to make quality art. I highly recommend, out of all his videos, I highly recommend this one. So I will have a link to this one specifically in the description below. This Akira Toriyama manga style that he's producing is by far my favorite. It's not just Shintani, which I've told you guys a million times that is by far one of my favorite Dragon Ball styles to date, if not my favorite one. Shintani basically took the manga style and made it his own and made it more fluid, less details, and it just works for Dragon Ball. Well, this is essentially just the manga style. It's cutting the middleman of Shintani and going straight to the source, and makes for art that, in my opinion, looks a lot better than the Dragon Ball Super manga as of right now. Sorry, Toyotaro. The fluidity of it, the shading, the nostalgia behind the way these art pieces look, and especially the hair of the Saiyans, the fluid hair that not only did old Dragon Ball Z really have, especially before the Buu saga, but the manga especially had. It's just so vibrant on these pieces of artwork, and you can find all this artwork on his Instagram and his Twitter. But the one video that really pushed me to reach out to Totally Not Mark and get his insight on art is not a Dragon Ball video. It's Pokemon, the Devolving Designs, where he takes the Pokemon from the newest game that's about to drop, Sword and Shield, and he remakes them in that old Generation 1 style. And that's when I really knew that this guy's got some real talent for picking up not only nostalgia, but mimicking that old 90s look for modern art, which you guys know I was born in the 90s and I grew up through the 90s, and I'm a huge Pokemon fan. More about it in this video, link in the description below. So I'm all about those Generation 1 designs, and I love his redraw of the brand new Pokemon in that design. And so Totally Not Mark was nice enough to answer a few questions that I had about not only his art but his video series, and these might be questions that you had yourself.
I genuinely can't remember. I think that's the same for a lot of artists who start drawing when they're children, be it with rocks on the pavement or flipbooks or trying to draw your favorite Dragon Ball characters on TV. And I'm still doing that today. But if I was to put a time on when I started taking art seriously, it would be somewhere in 2015. So I was quite late to that party. You know, I've actually heard this question a lot. Funnily enough, it's a question I used to worry about myself for my own work when I first started taking art seriously. And I think it's a misguided question in the most innocent of ways. No matter what you do, your style of drawing will come naturally. You can't fight it. Lord knows I've tried. The only thing you have to do is draw regularly. You don't need to find it per se, it very much finds you. Whatever's handy. A napkin, my arm, a piece of paper. Nowadays I tend to draw digitally with a program called Paint Tool Sai. Yeah, definitely. I hope people like this one, but yes, I most definitely will. I love a lot of different shows and characters. I'm very annoying to watch shows and movies with. I can't really turn off that whole looking for character arcs and dialogue part of my brain, so yes, I will be covering other shows sooner rather than later. I have a few in mind, but Goku Black probably, yeah. Be fearless. The only thing holding you back is your own fear of inadequacy. Whether that be fear of showing someone your artwork, or nerves to take a class, or your refusal to even draw hands and feet. We actively avoid doing things that make us feel like we aren't as good as we think we are. That somehow drawing a bad hand is proof that you are a bad artist. But the thing is, you were terrible at drawing all the things you are currently great at. But when you were terrible at those things, you were a kid. You were fearless. You drew not because there was an ego attached, but because you liked drawing. Ego is the improving artist's worst enemy. You are not as good as you think you are. Approaching everything with optimism and a beginner's mindset is the best course of action. Enthusiasm and fearlessness are the most important ingredients, I think, when it comes to improving. Do it. It sounds like a cliche piece of advice, but it's right. I know so many people who have said that they want to start a YouTube channel. So many people that spent months trying to get everything in order before their first upload. They never upload anything. Your first video will suck. Your first podcast will suck. Your first drawing will suck. Your first anything is gonna suck. So get that out of the way so you can get to your 50th creation and it can be of decent quality then. There are so many obstacles and hurdles that you have to overcome in life, and the last thing you need is for yourself to be in the way too.
I want to give a huge thank you to Totally Not Mark for being on my video and answering the questions. Thank you so much for the art, the content. I can't wait to see more. This is going to be Black Skate signing off. Take care, guys.